Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sports Kabri and Arun Foot. We're here with another episode of Candid Football Conversations, and we're going to talk about India's probable squad that was announced Tuesday. And there's some interesting things that we've noticed, and we want to share with you guys. A couple of interesting inclusions, couple of interesting exclusions. So we'll run through all of that quickly. And yeah, Nava, how are you doing? Happy with this initial squad that's been announced?
I'm doing fine, Rahul. I hope you're doing good as well. Yeah, it's an interesting squad. Some surprises, I guess, in it. Some exclusions in it. Points of discussions for fans, but overall, most probably the expected squad that one would have thought of if one is registering a 50-man squad pre AFC Asian Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Just starting off with the goalkeeping department itself, doesn't look like I know football and Chenpa is probably one name that comes to mind. Any others that come to your mind? Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, Amrinder Singh, Vishal Keth, Dheeraj Singh, and Gurmeet Singh are the five chosen. Any other names that have been excluded according to you should have been there?
See, it's a point of discussion because I think the top three are sort of fixed. I think Gurpreet, Amrinder, and Vishal Keth most probably are the ones which are going to go, and then it's a toss up between three, five, six goalkeepers. Dheeraj is amongst
Mm.
them, Gurmeet is amongst them, Purva Lechempa you've mentioned who's missing from that list is amongst them. Prabsukan Gill potentially is amongst them. Even Arshdeep, who is
Yeah.
become the number one at FC Goa instead of Dheeraj, potentially falls in that. Sachin Suresh is a talented goalkeeper. So goalkeepers, we've got options, and we know from our discussions with people, and do give your reactions to us. Write it in the comments down what you think about the squad. That it's a toss up amongst certain goalkeepers. Again, he's not going to drop Amrinder. Amrinder even played against Qatar in the most recent match for India. Vishal Keth has been sort of the number three for quite a while, and I'm a little surprised that Purva Lechempa doesn't really make the cut as the number four. Gurmeet has been in there as well in the summer when certain goalkeepers were injured. So therefore, yeah, that's that take, I guess, on the goalkeepers.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know, but is there a conversation to be had for Ashti? Because I mean, he's keeping out Dheeraj, and would it be fair for a guy who isn't playing regular club football to be included in a squad for a big Asian tournament?
It's a discussion we'll most probably have with other positions as well down
Mhm.
the road. But I would think one thing that Dheeraj does have is international experience. He has been an India goalkeeper since the under 15s onwards. So therefore, he does have that experience. And maybe it's an attempt by Igor Stimac to give the boy a positive push to try and do something in the next 2 3 weeks in the ISL and get back the number one spot in Goa. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But at the moment, except to injuries to the other goalkeepers, I don't even think that Dheeraj is the number four. I guess Dheeraj is even the number five behind Gurmeet.
Fair enough, fair enough. Arnava, then coming to the defenders is very interesting because you've got two guys in this list who can cover multiple positions. And I want to ask you the question here. We know that the sort of standard centre backs that he's going to look at, Igor Stimac, probably Sandesh Jingan, Rahul Beke of late. You can probably going to see Mehtab in there. And another another centre back, whoever it may be. You've got your right back, who is Nikhil Pujari. We know he's going to start. Same way we know Akash is going to start on the left. So Bashish probably the second choice on the left hand side, and we don't potentially know a right hand side replacement. Is there a shout for Preetham Kotal and Rahul Beke to be in the final squad? Because then you don't need another covering sort of right back. Preetham Kotal does that for you, and he can be your fourth centre back. Then you could probably add another midfielder or an attacker. Is that a conversation that is probably there to be had?
It's an interesting thought process because I have also put another player on my list, which is Roshan, where I think
Yeah,
that Roshan is a potential player on the left and on the right, and in the worst case, you can even use him as an attacking player.
yeah,
So I think that the first point that we need to discuss is that the loss of Anwar Ali. I think that's
yeah.
a huge loss at the moment. Who was in the summer, really, and even in the earlier matches this season, the best Indian centre back by far and by a mile. Let's be honest about it. Anwar Ali, respect what the boy has been playing, and he's out for quite a while now. So that does worry me also towards the March World Cup qualifiers. Again, it's looking ahead quite a while, but again, that's 3 4 months down the road. At the moment, it looks like, as you say, Sandesh Jingan is the given. Everything around him is sort of in a flux in some sort of way, but it's not because we've seen that Igor Stimac has been trusting Nikhil Pujari. And on the other side, Akash Mishra in the last two ISL games seems to finally have settled into Mumbai City FC. Those are very, very good signs. And the positive surprise has been at Mumbai as well as in the national team, often criticized Rahul Beke, who's been actually quite consistent, with good performances at club and country. So that is sort of the standard four-man backline at the moment as it stands. Then as you said, Subhashish Bose does come in. Mehtab Singh most probably is the third centre back. Now we come to the right back position because you have a few options. Is it an Ashish Rai? Is it Pritham Kotal, as you say, as a potential option of being a right back, which is actually his used to be his natural position, but has been more of a centre back at the Blasters, and he's been doing well as a centre back for the Kerala Blasters whenever he's
Mm.
played in that position.
Yeah.
So what happens to Sana, and then of course we still have Hormipam, Narendra Gaylord, and Amay Ranawade. Amay Ranawade has been actually playing quite well for Odisha in the recent weeks. So therefore, that's an interesting one for Steamach to sort out. I would think that if he has a 2+2+2 scenario in regard to right back, right centre back, centre back, left back, and then that additional player, and if you have players who can play in multiple positions, it gives the head coach a number of options. So I think he will pick two players as right back and left back, four centre backs, and
Yeah.
maybe if he has the option, Roshan as a bonus. I know
Okay.
that people will say that Roshan has not been playing too well. Yes, he's been on and off, but he does give you certain options which other players don't.
Yeah, yeah, and I think Roshan's unfortunate form I think has also got a lot to do with BFC not doing well. So yeah, I think we got to cut him some slack there. But
And
yeah, I know.
one player to
Yeah,
mention that the fans have grown fond of, who's not been picked, is Jay Gupta.
yeah,
And that seems to be, Igor seems to still think that someone who's been now part of the scene for the last 2-3 months, who's come in from the lower leagues of Spanish football, is not ready for international football. That's the assumption of the coach. Again, maybe it would have been nice to have tried him out a little earlier, but that option wasn't there. But left back is not really a problem position, according to me, if you look at other positions in the team.
yeah, yeah. Fair enough. And moving to the middle of the park, then Arnav, I think is pretty standard, right? I mean, if we had everyone fit, it would be Jigsan. You'd probably have Anirudh Thapa in there, Suresh Singh Wangjam, Apuya, Brandon, and Sahal. But unfortunately, that isn't the case. You've got injuries, and given the
I think we
situation,
should go through the injury list. If we talk
yeah,
today, 13th of December, at this moment, Jikson, Sahal,
Brandon,
Anirudh Thapa, Brandon, Glenn Martins, Rowland Borges, Ritvik Das, and Pranoy Halda. I'm just naming them.
yeah,
All these guys are injured. Add to it Anwar Ali, add to it potentially Manveer, add to it potentially Rahim Ali. These are the players on this day that those are injured. So that has to be kept in mind whenever we are putting the squad together.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the one good thing that comes out is that you still got Apuya and Suresh, who were there for you in your two World Cup qualification matches. They'll probably pair up in midfield if we don't have any other options. But if that is the case, Arnava, then who plays that attacking midfield role, given that these injuries are still there in your squad?
So first of all, I hope that these players recover. I think that's the first thing. I
Yeah.
think we've seen this season, the jump that Sahal has made after going to Mohun Bagan Super Giants. Thapa is an experienced player who was there in the last Asian Cup. So I hope that Thapa gets fit again. And then the question is who comes in. Again, if I look at the wings, I'm sort of sorted because I have Changte and I have now Mahesh Naurem.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's going to pick Liston or
Yeah.
Nanda. That's
Okay.
going to be a discussion. I think someone that he would most probably look at if these players remain injured is Mohammad Yassir in that
Hmm.
attacking position. He's been playing decent for Hyderabad, not as good as he has in the last 2 years, but again, Hyderabad is a team which is struggling at the moment. So hopefully that might be a player. And then it becomes a question of defensive midfielders. Deepak Tangadi has played very few minutes in the last 1.5 years. Maybe even a Vinith Rai gets in,
Hmm.
if the
Yeah.
others are not fit. That's why Vinith has been getting a few minutes at Mumbai City in the last few weeks. So maybe Vinith Rai gets into that position and
Yeah.
gets an opportunity.
potentially. But I don't know the white players for you. Changte, of course, Mahesh will be there. Probably need two more white players. Who would you go with?
I think someone who's been playing quite well and you could use for defensive duties as well, similar to what sort of Manveer played against Kuwait. If Manveer is fit, I would pick Manveer, and the other one would be Vikram,
Yeah, fair
because
enough.
with Manveer, Vikram, Changte, and Mahesh, I think we're covered in those positions.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. And of course, up top, you got Sunil Chetri. You can play Manveer if it looks like Manveer will go with the team. Do you think Manveer goes as a striker potentially, not as a wide player?
Again, Manveer is another discussion as we've had with Rahul Beke and with Pritam Kotal, who can play in multiple positions. Mahesh
Exactly.
Naurem, Roshan Naurem being another one. So if Manveer is fit, Manveer goes. Up
Yeah,
front, the question is, are you going to go with experience or are you going to risk it? So are you willing to, is Ishan Pandita in that form? Is potentially Rahim Ali? Again, I know a lot of people, don't do a lot of memes about him. Or do you go with Kian Nasiri,
hmm.
Gurkira? Does a Parthiv Gogoi get a look in?
Yeah,
That's going to be,
in the squad.
Jerry is also in there, who's been playing well for Odisha over the last few years as a winger. So you have a few options, I think. You have options, but you have the lack of international experience. And that, I think, is the challenge for Eagles team.
Yep, yep. Fair enough. But Arnava, I mean, like you said, if Manvi does go, he does cover both positions. Then you also have, you can then play Roshan because you have that extra man that he's sort of left. I mean, Manvir is sort of left for you guys because he covers multiple positions. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when India's final squad comes out for the Asian Cup. Thanks, Arnava, for this short chat. Everybody, please let us know your preferred squads from this Probables list, and we'll take a look, and it'll be interesting to have a little bit of conversation on that. Please do like and share these videos, subscribe to the channels, Post Kabri and Arun Foot, and yeah, we'll be back with more content. Thanks, Arnav.
Thanks, Rahul. Bye, everyone.